I am a straight married man. But this man right here, interesting. I agree with Stephen A. Shocker. Shocker, guys. I'm disagreeing with Stephen A. Smith. I bet you never heard that before, huh? Is a Bugatti compared to these two. But at least I know these two have an engine when I pop the hood. I don't know if this one does. And even if it does, sometimes it misfires. So I'm not doing this trade. This is an extremely hot take. I don't think the Hornets start winning until they get rid of LaMelo. Period. What's up, everybody? The reason I know who I am, if you don't, I'm a React content creator. I like to react to different things, whether that be basketball content, the modern NBA, and different basketball creators in general. I also like to react to drama, TikTok, nonsense. And if you like Basketball Insight, I'm the guy for you. And if you like Brain Rot, I'm the guy for you. With that being said, today, we're going to be reacting to A.M. Hoop's video. This is why Zion will get traded. I'm curious what he means by that, what exactly he's talking about. So we're definitely going to talk about this. But before we do, before we even get to it, we got to talk about this. The Nuggets fire Michael Malone and won't extend GM Calvin Booth. This is what I got to say before we watch this little 1-minute clip with Shams. I don't understand why the Nuggets would do this. I understand they've been in a slump. I understand they haven't been playing great. I understand that even with Jokic dropping a 16-point triple-double, they have not been able to close these games. But why not see what Mike Malone can do in the playoffs? Why not see what they can do with a healthy Jamal Murray? Why not see what actually can happen? And then if you want to let him go at the end of the season, let him go. Because I don't think they're getting to the finals. Absolutely not. I don't think they're getting there. And I think a team that's going to take him out is either going to be, my brain says OKC, and my heart says the Lakers. But again, why not? There's a lot of why nots, and there's not a lot of answers. It doesn't make any types of sense whatsoever. But let's see what Shams has to say. I'll give my reaction to what he says, and then we'll go ahead and start this. But this is kind of crazy that they're letting Mike Malone go right before the playoffs start. It doesn't make any sense. I just don't know why you wouldn't just see what he can do. Because with the Taylor Jenkins firing, right, in Memphis, I attributed that to more cultures and something going on in the locker room that we may not know of. And of course, Ja Morant's comments didn't help. But with Denver, there's no drama. There's no comments. There's nothing. They're losing. But again, why not wait to get to the playoffs? See what Mike does in the playoffs. I don't care what coach you have moving forward. I don't trust that coach. Coaching is important. If you are an NBA fan, you know that. And if you are a Lakers fan, you really know that. And if you're a Bears fan like me, you super know that. Coaching is extremely important when it comes to sports. So letting your coach go right before the playoffs start, that's why people dropped on Memphis. And that's the same reason why people are going to start dropping on Denver, including me. I don't think Denver's going anywhere. I said that there were 3 threats to LA in the playoffs. I said their biggest threat was OKC. Their second biggest threat was the Nuggets, and their third biggest threat was the Warriors. Now I think there's only 2. So now if you guys are ready to put somebody down on the Lakers, at least being the Western Conference favorites, I do it now. The odds are still plus 650. That means for every $100 you put down, you win 650 back. But hey, I digress. Let's go ahead and see what Shams is talking about, and then we'll go ahead and watch that video after I give a little bit more of a reaction to what he's saying. But this just doesn't make sense to me.
Or can you tell us about the moves that the Nuggets made this morning?
The Denver Nuggets have done a full clean out. They have parted ways with both Michael Malone as head coach and general manager Calvin Booth. I'm told Josh Kroenke and Nuggets ownership informed Malone and Calvin Booth in a meeting today that both are being fired and let go. And this is stunning because we're just days away from the end of the regular season, days away from the start of the NBA playoffs. This is tied for the, really, for as far as a firing, this is tied for with Hubie Brown in 1980-81 season for the deepest into a regular season we've seen a coach get fired. Michael Malone is the winningest coach in Denver Nuggets franchise history. He led that organization to a 2023 NBA championship. And the Nuggets, from my understanding, just believed that they needed a full culture reset. There's been something of a Cold War brewing between both Malone and Booth over the last couple of years. And Malone is really the established coach in place there. And now the fact that he is out, it is stunning across the NBA.
Let's start the bidding at $5 million. Thank you, sir.
These people.
So there's not much information. I guess there's been a Cold War since the team won the championship. The Nuggets have gone with younger role players such as Braun and Watson around the team's core of Jokic, Murray, and Gordon. Veterans such as KCP and Bruce Brown left in previous summers during free agencies to sign bigger deals elsewhere. Okay. The decision was not made lightly and was evaluated very carefully, and we do it only with the intention of giving our group the best chance at competing for the 2025 NBA championship. You guys are not winning the championship this year. That's just a fact. I just don't understand. If there was a problem between the coach and the GM, I guess it would make sense if you kept the GM, but you're getting rid of both. That makes no sense. So there was a problem between the GM and the coach, but you get rid of both? Why not keep one over the other? Why would you get rid of both? And why would you get rid of Malone? I don't like the guy. I feel like he has such a hard-on for the Lakers, in particular LeBron, for whatever reason. Especially since he actually coached alongside fucking LeBron back in the Cleveland days. And he was there. So I don't like the guy. I don't get the hard-on. I don't get what his problem is. But nonetheless, I mean, this just doesn't make sense to me. I wish there was more information I could find, but I don't understand. I don't know. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get it. All I can say is, if you're a Denver fan, I feel bad for you. This is a rough take. This is a rough week for you. We have, like, Jamal Murray dealing with a hamstring injury that for some reason is keeping him sidelined to the point where they don't even know if he's coming back in the first round of the playoffs. You got the Nuggets playing just absolutely garbage tier basketball. And now you got your coach getting fired right before the playoffs start. I'm going to be honest with you. If you're a Nuggets fan, this is rough. This is really rough. And I feel bad, and I don't want this. Keep in mind, I want the Lakers to get to the finals. They got to go through OKC. They got to go through the Warriors. They got to go through the Nuggets. I don't want it to be easy. I want it to be earned. I want people to not be able to turn around and say, well, it's because they fired their coach. Which, keep in mind, that is what will be said. Be ready for that. It's just frustrating. It's extremely frustrating if you're a fan of basketball in general. Not even a fan of the Nuggets. You're a fan of basketball in general, because now it's just going to be excuses. And now you're not going to know the full potential of what the Nuggets could be. Because, again, coaching does matter, point blank period. And I don't know who they're going to put in place of Mike Malone as a playoff start, but I don't trust them to get through the playoffs without Mike. I'll trust them to get out the first round. It is what it is. We'll see what happens. I'll keep you guys updated as far as that goes, and I'll make sure to be on top of that as the days go on. But for now, that shit's weird. I don't understand it. It makes no sense to me, but it is what it is. With that being said, you guys know what it is. It's a ball video. So let's talk some ball, huh? Let's speed this up. Let's put this on full screen. Oh, let me read the title one more time. This is why Zion will get traded, okay? And let's go.
It's Monday, May 12, 2025. 14 NBA teams have come to New York to find out the order of the NBA draft, and shockingly, the ping pong balls say the Pelicans will pick first for the second time in 6 years. Zion Williamson, now it's Cooper Flagg. The Pels ticket staff goes crazy when they find out. This means sellouts for years, championships, dream scenario for Zion to revive his career, except it's not. In fact, New Orleans will be the worst possible place for Cooper Flagg. It would trigger an immediate trade for Zion Williamson, and if you think that's crazy, crazy? Look at this. So New Orleans went all in for this season. They traded Dyson Daniels, Larry Nance, and 2 first-round picks for DeJounte Murray. People called it the best Pelicans team ever. 3 All-Stars, Zion, Brandon Ingram, DeJounte Murray. 3 elite-level role players, C.J. McCollum, Trey Murphy, Herb Jones, and reliable bench guys like rookie Yves Missi. But off the rip, injuries
Alvarado is he's a little squirrel with it, dog. Alvarado's a little, not even the word I'm looking for. His ass be sneaky with those sideline steals. I watched him do that shit. That shit's funny, but it gets you. As someone who, you wouldn't believe it, I know, because I'm a big boy. I played basketball before. If someone who's played basketball, I can tell you, sometimes your court vision, right? You're focused on the play. Your mind is running chess matches, okay? As much as these old heads sometimes want to talk about how it's just shoot three, shoot three, shoot three. Watch any thinking basketball video. By the way, I will be reacting to another thinking basketball video. I love that shit, especially as someone who really loves like the actual analytical side of basketball. But the shit's a chess match, right? So you're looking ahead. You're figuring out the defense. You're figuring out what are they in? What type of set are we running? What are we about to do? And this motherfucker just zooms in and take the ball, and you don't really think on it because you're more focused on this shit, and his ass just come and fucking yoinks it. Like, it's just, Alvarado is good with it. He'll be standing on the sideline, right, as you're walking, and he'll just wait for you to pass the ball in, and he'll just run and grab that shit. That shit is funny. I like it. I know some people don't. I like it. I think it's funny. And I think it's smart.
Crushed them. When DeJounte tore his Achilles, they were 12 and 37. In total, Zion, B.I., and DeJounte played exactly 0 minutes together. Disaster. But the worst part is Zion's availability had nothing to do with his weight this time. In the past, this man has looked more like a football player than a hooper. It got so bad that the Pels put a weight clause in his contract to forfeit cash for getting fat. Like, you know how people are like, oh, I could stay in shape for $1 million. Yeah, this is that, only it's $100 million. But I just got the numbers for MyFitFoods, and you guys are loving it. That makes me really happy because I am loving it too. All I eat are MyFitFoods meals all day, every day, plus a bowl of oatmeal in the morning, and it's allowed me to achieve all my fitness goals while being affordable and extremely tasty. They're always
okay. That did not just come from food. Look at this man.
Plus a bowl of oatmeal in the morning, and it's allowed me to achieve all my.
Listen, I am a straight married man, but this man right here, interesting.
Fitness goals while being affordable and extremely tasty. They're always mixing in new meals every single month, and it's so convenient. Like, one of the biggest wastes of time in my life recently has been like on Sundays trying to meal prep the entire day for the week, and it doesn't even taste that good. But MyFitFoods takes care of all of that, and if you use my promo code AMHOOPS30, you get 30% off your meals. They have stores you can walk in Houston or Portland or Denver, plus new stores coming in Dallas and Austin. So please check out MyFitFoods like a lot of you guys have been doing. Use my promo code AMHOOPS30 for 30% off. Kendrick Perkins said, I'm feeling great about Zion. From what I'm hearing from my sources, he has a reset in his camp. He hired a nutritionist. He got some new people in his corner. Great! And Zion looked like the best shape of his career and still only played 30 games. Like, can you imagine having a 6-year career and 4 times you have played 30?
Jesus Christ, 30 games, 70 in 2024. That's actually crazy. 29, 0, 61, 24. He's missed so much time. He's missed so much time. He didn't until recently, right, hit like the 5,000 point mark, if I'm not mistaken. Like, Zion's gonna always be like the biggest what if in basketball history because he is so good. If you actually like watch Zion play and not just heard about him, he is so good. He's so explosive. But when you're that explosive, your body can't take it, especially if you don't have the weight. If you have the weight, you gotta let that go. You can't be that big and that explosive. It just doesn't match. There's a reason I'm able to play basketball, right? And I'm as chubby as I am. I'm losing weight, but the type of game I play, you know, I'm not just standing there. I'm running, I'm sprinting. That's how I'm losing the weight. But I'm not explosive. Like, when I go up for a layup. When I go up, I get my mid-range game. I go up for some shots, but I'm not fucking charging the ground up and fucking pounding it down. I'm not explosive, and if I was, I promise you, I'd probably be injured myself because of how big I am. And I'm just a casual. I just hoop on the cash. This guy is an NBA player, okay? And he is very explosive, especially when he gets to the rim. You can't be that big, dude. But I want to give credit where credit is due. Zion has looked good this year, and he's lost a lot of weight. But damn, still missed a lot of games.
30 games or less? 4 out of 6? That is insane. But the thing is, when he is healthy, dude is an all-time talent. Like last year, a career-high 70 games played, so New Orleans wins a franchise record 49. Pretty good. During a 3-game stretch in early March, he averaged 31 points, 5 boards, 8 assists on 68% from the field. But before the season, he was poised to have a breakout year. This is the year of Zion. And it's the same old crap. So Shams goes on the Pat McAfee show and warns like, well, they're going to have some tough conversations this offseason. And props to Pat McAfee's sidekick, dude, who calls out Shams to his face while he's still on the show.
We've had this exact same conversation with Shams like the last 4 years. Like, these guys really need to get together this offseason and kind of figure out like how we're going to do this moving forward. It's like, guess what?
This summer,
it ain't gonna fucking work. It's not going to, Shams.
As an organization, they have decisions that they're gonna have to make.
What? Shams, they do this every year. That's the entire point. And you got Stephen A. Smith calling Zion a bust. Is that true, by the way? I mean, a bust is somebody who was drafted really high and doesn't live up to expectations, which is true so far, but you cannot say that until a career is over.
I don't know. I won't disagree, right? Because when I'm sitting here and I'm thinking of what a bust is, I do agree with that. They didn't live up to expectations, considering how high they are and where their level of play is. I wouldn't say he's a bust because his level of play. I would disagree with Stephen A. Shocker. Shocker, guys. I'm disagreeing with Stephen A. Smith. I bet you never heard that before, huh? But I would say that it's more so if he continues to miss as many games as he's missing, he would be more of a bust because he did not live up to the fact. He did not live up to his skill because he wasn't able to show it off as much as he could. That's it. Not skill level bust, more bust like if he was able to be on the court and he was able to show people how good he is, he would be able to continue this level of greatness and to show people exactly how good Zion is, from Duke to the Pelicans, continuing to play at an all-star caliber level, damn near superstar level when he's healthy. But when he's not, you can't show that off. So I think it's more if he's unhealthy and he continues to be unhealthy and he continues to miss time, then he will be a bust. But if he continues to show people he's healthy, he can get in the game, he can play more games, and he can continue to display the type of all-star talent he has, superstar talent he has, I don't think he is a bust, even all the time he's missed, even all the games he's missed, and even if he never really truly lived up to the full potential of a full NBA career that could have been seen on paper. We'll still look at the back end of his career and say that he still played at an excellent level. So I know that was a long-winded yap. I get that. But yeah, I'm not going to agree with Stephen A. Smith and say he's a bust right now. But I will say if this continues to where he continues to just stay out and does not play, then he will be considered a bust. Not because of his talent, just simply because he's not playing the game. That's it.
On this trajectory, he is headed toward a bust. But what does Cooper Flagg have to do with all of this? Well, because of these injuries, the Pels have an amazing chance to pick number 1. Right now, they have the 4th worst record, but the worst 3 have the best shot, a 14% chance at number 1. But 4th is still a 12.5% chance. They are right there with the best odds in the NBA to get Cooper Flagg. But the problem is they are the worst possible landing spot for Cooper. If he goes to NOLA, it could ruin 7 years of his career. That's how long a rookie is forced to stay on his first team, because that second contract creates generational wealth. They can't turn it down. It's like LeBron in Cleveland the first time, dysfunctional franchise, then finally, after 7 years, he can leave for Miami. Oh, but why is New Orleans so bad? Well, Cooper's biggest weakness coming into Duke was his shooting. And sure enough, at first, he came in at 42% from the field, 24% from 3. But then magically, after his 18th birthday, Cooper ended up with 51% from the field and 43%.
This is an excellent jump. That is insane. That is Absolutely insane. This is a great jump, and if you are any team that's going to receive Cooper Flagg, you should be ecstatic at the fact that someone like him is coming to your team. As far as him being part of New Orleans Pelicans and him being ruined, listen, I've heard this time and time again. I'm not sure how much I believe that. We've seen the Detroit Pistons. I heard this back when Cade Cunningham went to the Pistons, and look how much he's balling now, and look where the Pistons are now. If you are a great player, look at where Cleveland was before LeBron got there. If you are a great player, it doesn't matter what system necessarily you be part of. You're still going to continue to be great. That's my opinion. That's my opinion. All right? And this is why I think that, because we're going to go over to football real quick, because I'm a Bears fan. If you guys don't know football, I'll break this down in layman terms. Don't worry. Well, we used to have a quarterback, Justin Fields. He wasn't that good. We had a quarterback, Mitchell Trubisky. He had up and down moments, and he had a really good year. Almost went to the playoffs, double doink. If you're a Chicagoan, you know. But moving forward, we haven't really had a good quarterback. And a lot of the times we heard it was the system. The system is fucked, but then we have this kid by the name of Caleb Williams come in. Not only does he have a better season than the last two quarterbacks' best season, it was Caleb's probably worst season. He got sacked tremendously, okay? He didn't have much of an O-line, okay? He was still figuring it out, and he still had a better season than the last two quarterbacks we've had. And again, it's probably in the record books going to be seen as his worst. So when you're a great player, and even if you're in a system that's bad, the skill's going to be there and you're going to see it, you know? Like, you don't have to necessarily be a generational talent even, right? Like, you get pulled to a good look. Cade Cunningham, love him, all-star. Are we going to say he's a generational talent, though? I don't think so. So I don't know how I feel about this argument of he's going to go there and his career is going to be ruined. I don't think so. I think if Cooper does go there, he might even make New Orleans competitive, just like LeBron made his team competitive. Just like I feel like Victor will make his team competitive, and just like I feel like Zion could have, and we saw when he went 70 games with his team, make his team competitive. So let's just see what happens. I'm not sure if I agree with that argument.
From three from then on. Elite! But Zion refuses to take almost any three-point or mid-range shots. Like, this is a picture of Zion's shot chart for this year. 6 years into his career, cannot evolve his game. Took about 20 shots outside the restricted area out of 508. It's actually amazing that he can be this effective and this predictable. Actually, the definition of unstoppable. They know exactly what Zion's gonna do, but cannot slow him down. But it does stop anyone else from living in the paint too, including Cooper Flagg. Cooper would have to translate his shooting to the NBA level immediately. That means zero drop-off from college to the NBA, which is such a huge ask for an 18-year-old. No, this guy wants to start his career on a team that plays to his strengths. Not to mention the Zion injuries and circus. So if the Pels got Cooper, they would dump Zion the next day. Either trade or cut him, because when the Pels gave Zion that max contract, they built in all sorts of escape clauses to get out of guaranteed money. Those include games played and weight plus body fat not exceeding the number 295. Well, this year, only played 30 games, so the final 3 years of his contract are not guaranteed. They could cut him with zero financial consequences tomorrow. Only problem, that's not realistic. They would much rather trade him and at least get something back. So who would actually deal for Zion? Well, it would take someone really desperate to want that risk. But the good news for the Pelicans is there's actually a lot of teams that qualify, such as the Bucks, Suns, Sixers, Clippers, Grizzlies, Bulls, Kings, Mavericks, and why not throw the Hawks in there?
Bucks is not happening as long as Giannis is there. It just makes no sense, no basketball sense. You can put two great players together, but when this is the type of shit that Charles Barkley and Shaq were crying about as far as Luka and LeBron being able to play together, because who's going to share the ball? This isn't even a share the ball type situation. It's Giannis and Zion's game is similar in the fact as far as their explosiveness to the rim. They're not known for three-point shooting. Now, Giannis being the better three-point shooter, sure, but he's not known for that. So you don't really want to. I don't see that happening. The Suns, I don't know how they'd be able to. Bradley Beal's in that no trade clause. I know Kevin Durant's leaving, so maybe they'll free some space up. Maybe. Sixers, I don't care. Maybe, sure. The Sixers will probably do it because at this point they need to do something because their future is just so bleak. So maybe they might. I'd do a Paul George swap and maybe a couple pick swaps. I don't know. Clippers, I don't think so. I think they like their lineup. They've been playing well. Won 13 of the last 16 games. They're going to be in the playoffs. And if they have a good first or second round, I don't see them going for Zion. Grizzlies, I think right now they need to focus more on the culture building and bringing in a coach. I'm not sure how much they're really going to switch up that lineup. Right now they're focusing on Ja and seeing what he can do, Jaren Jackson and that mess. So I don't know. I don't think that's likely. Bulls, I feel like this is a no. Matisse is very good. We're keeping him. Kobe White's good. Josh Giddey has been stepping up. Vucevic will probably be gone, but other than that, like, I think the Bulls are probably keeping their lineup, and they're going to keep their pieces because they like their lineup. And I like our lineup. We have a good young team, and I don't think bringing in Zion is necessary. I think just building off what we have and going from there is all that matters. The Kings, maybe. I feel like that's more likely than the rest of the team so far. The Mavericks, I don't see how they're able to afford him, considering they already have AD, Klay Thompson, and Kyrie on the books. And they're not getting rid of those three, so I don't think that's likely. And the Hawks, maybe. So, honestly, with teams that are likely to do so, I'm going to go Sixers, Hawks, and Kings. I could see the Clippers maybe doing so, but it wouldn't make sense to me. But they could do it. And I could see the Suns doing it just because they're kind of backed into a quarter. A team I cannot see doing it is the Bucks because of, like I said, they are. If Giannis stays, there's no reason to do that. The Bulls, they have a great lineup. I don't think they really want to mess that up. And they have a good young team that they really want to build around each other, so I don't see it's necessary to even bring in Zion. The Grizzlies, they're more so trying to build their culture up and trying to see what they can do as far as their future goes. And the Mavericks, I don't think they can afford to do so, not necessarily that they don't want to do it. So yeah, that's my thoughts, my opinions. We'll see what happens, but again, this is assuming he even gets traded, and I don't know if that just happens. So
all of those teams have like zero options to improve at this point and would love a discounted, gently used Zion. So what is his trade value? Well, let's throw up an example, like the Clippers getting Zion for Norman Powell, Bogdanovich, and 1 first. Maybe they have to
I'm gonna be honest, I don't think the Clippers do this deal at all. Norman Powell has been playing really good. It's a good role player. I'm sorry, I'm not doing this. I wouldn't do this as a Clipper organization. Are you fucking kidding me? I would do this if I knew that Zion was going to play. If Zion is going to continue to be the Zion that he's been in years past, why in the ever-living fuck would I do this deal? Okay? No one's saying that Zion's a bag of chips. Zion is a Bugatti compared to these two. But at least I know these two have an engine when I pop the hood. I don't know if this one does. And even if it does, sometimes it misfires. So I'm not doing this trade.
throw Ivica Zubac in there instead, because Zoo and Zion would not work together on the court, but much cheaper than your typical 20-something All-Star, like unheard of cheaper. Now, the fear for the Pels is that Zion goes somewhere else, finds that maturity, and fulfills his potential, which is through the roof. This is like the Lakers getting Luka and he loses 20 pounds immediately and stops complaining to the refs, which is why it's so dumb for people to officially call him a bust. Nothing is official until his career is over. Anything can happen. It's exactly what the Pelicans are afraid of. He'll go somewhere else and not be a bust. Now, Carmelo Anthony mentioned the Charlotte Hornets. To me, that's crazy because they've got all their picks, can continue the rebuild like a normal team.
No. I honestly, this is going to be an extremely hot take. I'm even going to throw this bitch in the intro. This is an extremely hot take. I don't think the Hornets start winning until they get rid of LaMelo. Period. The reason I feel that is because I don't think LaMelo plays winning basketball. I don't think he cares to win. I think LaMelo cares about his paycheck. I think LaMelo's a great player, but I think LaMelo is not someone that cares much as far as winning a championship. Period. That's just my opinion, and maybe that changed later on in life, but this is similar to, if we remember, right? Back in the day, Carmelo Anthony had the chance to play with Dwayne Wade, to play with LeBron James. He had the chance to play with them, and he turned it down because he wanted to get a bigger contract with New York. He wanted more money. And he chose money over championships, and he even said he regretted that early in his career. Later in his career, not early, obviously, because he took the contract. He said later in his career, he regretted that. And obviously, he wasn't in his prime and good enough to go to a team to really contribute much to win a championship, but nonetheless, he regretted that. And when it comes to LaMelo, I don't even think he's like on Carmelo's level, where at least if you saw Carmelo play, you knew Carmelo wanted to win. He just wanted to get paid. LaMelo, I don't think he cares to win. There'd be some like childish plays you be seeing from the Hornets. I saw a play where LaMelo's like running around, dribbling in a circle, and then goes up for a layup. Like, these plays that LaMelo be doing, it's like he just doesn't care. He's just goofing around. He's having fun, and that's cool and all. But if it doesn't contribute to winning, I don't care. So, as far as like Zion going to Charlotte, I wouldn't want it. I wouldn't want that for him. Because until LaMelo's gone, or until LaMelo matures up, I don't know if they win a championship.
Only a desperate one would want to take on the Zion risk. But even if they don't draft Cooper Flagg, which I know is still not likely to happen, reports say the Pels are considering a Zion trade anyway. Sham said they need to have tough conversations, but just like that guy said, it's the same thing every single year. Drafting Cooper would just make the trade guaranteed. I mean, even this last trade deadline, the Pels literally put Zion on the trade block. Mark Stein reported they would trade anyone not named Herb Jones, Yves Missi, and Trey Murphy. The trade desire's already out there. And speaking of trades, a Kevin Durant deal is the worst kept secret in the NBA. The Mavs lost Kyrie. Phoenix still cannot get the 10 seed from them. So where's KD gonna go? Well, we just got a list of realistic teams, and now the answer is obvious.
The answer is obvious. We may react to that. We may react to that on the next basketball day. But listen, hope you guys like the content. I'll be like, comment, subscribe. If you want me to react to anything, please let me know, and I will do so. But until next time, friends, I love you. I'll talk to you later. Peace out. Deuces. Goodbye.